require time and location. Creating and implementation intention is a strategy you can use.
Does look a little schizophrenic because he's kind of talking to himself. He was posting videos for the past several months. Well, the whole internet was talking about him. They couldn't find this new channel, and he's like reading books by himself. He's sewing. He's like on the beach. He's doing. It seems like he was doing that. It was like a diary. But I like to see people use YouTube like that. And now that it's out, literally it just got exposed like 30 minutes ago. We could see some of those videos. And I hope Kai Cenat, I wish him the best. I think.
Bro, be careful of the imagery you're putting out. You see, like, I know you're trying to be artistic, but some of this imagery is going to lose. Like, you got to remember, people look at you as Hollywood. When people, like, here's my assessment. The thing with desktop streaming, it keeps you in one place, like solitary, and you gain all this influence, but you're not living.
Now, here's what I will say. Because, honestly, like, I think, again, bro, like, I sat there outside, and I have a crazy-ass fucking view. And I'm in this financial level where money does buy happiness. Guys, money buys happiness.
I think it's smart for him to leave streaming. I think that he pretty much hit the ceiling. You know, at this point, what is he going to do? React to clips and still do, you know, scream and, you know, promote Rakai? It's like, let Rakai, nigga, shit, nigga, what's going on, chat? Nigga, what do I mean? What do I mean, man?
I'm all for, let me start with, I think there's more to this story.
Okay.
I don't understand why nobody, like, not nobody, because I feel like, once you're at that level, it's like, you should always feel that. But people, you know what it is, chat? In life, it does buy happiness.
I know it. I've experienced it. And I could imagine he's experienced it to a million levels. And this is why I say, if you're going into that fashion shit, I won't never knock someone, but you're going to get little boyed. Nobody gives a fuck about your streaming. Nobody gives a fuck about your music. You're going to become a little boy, and you're going to have to pay respects and bow down.
Everything I say is based on my belief that there's more to this Kai Cenat stuff.
Agreed.
Just the timeline for me with the Streamer Awards.
Cenat's 9th win and his 3rd win tonight.
Homeboy getting accused of all that shit. Her looking a little off kilter.
Don't forget the mental health
conversation.
Whatever benevolent mean. Let Rakai do it now. You gave him the blueprint. You put your friends on. Now they can carry the torch and be the loud, funny black guy on the front of Twitch. That's what. But now Kai Cenat is transcending. He's ascending. He's looks maxing. He's
right after the mental health conversation, just a cold retirement from streaming.
That seems weird because a lot of people, including whoever he's partnered with on the streaming end and people that he works with on the production end for his streaming, it's a lot of money allegedly being made over there.
That's what I'm saying. Even if he wanted to
them niggas in France, because you're trying to get into some shit that they own. And you can say you're building your own, but as soon as you idolize and you're looking to be a part of those houses in that world, you're a little boy that's going to bow down, strip your ego, and you're going to worship them. And if you're down to do that, hopefully it works out for you. But LVM...
In life, literally in life, it's not fair, right? We all know life's not fair. But I think money buys happiness because it buys freedom. And I think, again, we're streamers. We're streamers. At the end of the day, we're fucking streamers, guys. We have a beautiful... this is the best.
Normally when we see a pivot is because somebody read their contract and now has a way to funnel things back to them the right way accordingly. They've learned from whatever just happened. And typically whoever you assign to don't really jive with that, especially when you're a cash cow. So even if he wanted to do that, I would imagine somebody from AMP or whoever he was affiliated with.
Sewing, it makes sense for him to try new territories. And, you know, it's inspiring from Kai Cenat because I want to do the same eventually. At this point, maybe soon enough, it's going to be time for me to hang up the habit.
You can use pair a new habit with a specific time and location. The implementation intention formula is I will behavior and time and location. Habit stacking is a strategy you can use to pair a new habit with a current habit. The habit stacking formula is after current habit, I will new habit. And that is time. Currently 123, December 24th. Stating again, I am reading to articulate myself better for the future. See y'all next time. I'm left off at page 79.
Would be like angry or have some emotions about it. That's all.
They might be, or we could really look at this like he's really going through some mental health shit, and I don't have the emotional capacity to sit in front of this fucking microphone and stream.
Oh, then it's the breakup. I forgot the
I don't
breakup.
Put down the OBS and the IRL toolkit, hang up the backpack, and start film directing. You know, so I think he's going to make a transition to Hollywood and fashion and this stuff, and it's cool to see.
And I believe that the reason why it really worked was because I believed in it before anybody else did. And I noticed that us as big creators, when we help, it does a lot for everybody. I understand people at home uploading and trying their hardest, and I know how it feels to not get anywhere. So I try to do anything in my power to try to help those who can succeed in things that they love to do. I look around and I don't just see content creators. I see people who love to create and authentically be themselves. And genuinely, as I say that, I want to go ahead and say, you guys are
never always pushing for the doubt, hit a left and a right fist right to their mouth. I was never cocky figure till I started stacking figures. How you make a cocky nigga give him all the traffic? Always humble, but I got a couple bad habits. Set the numbers adding zero to these mathematics. Get you talking different, walking like you gang banging.
Salute to the gang, salute to the Ville. Drop a like, drop a comment. And let's have a quick conversation real quick because, you know what I'm saying, I've been paying attention to this Cenat thing, and, you know, since his YouTube channel, his second YouTube channel got discovered, there's been a whole bunch of other content creators, streamers having opinions, and, you know, everybody's trying to make Kai into Kanye, and I don't understand why. Like, I don't understand. This kid gives no type of, like, we constantly are having conversations about mental health in this country. We constantly are having conversations about people being afraid to go get help that they need. We literally, when 5 years ago, when all of this, when the world closed down, when the whole world closed down and everybody was locked up, we got to see mental health in full work, and we still see the remnants of it. That's what happened to society. A lot of people turned their cameras on, and all of a sudden we got to see mental health right in front of us. People breaking down, people crashing out, people doing all that for other people's entertainment. The car crash that you used to see on the highway and used to stop for, the reason why most of us get stuck in these traffic jams, because no matter what, you can see 300 accidents a year. Another accident happened, you still gonna stop and look. And that's what this has turned to. It's the new reality TV. It's the new car crash. We want people that have influence to speak up and say something. But there's so many gatekeepers and there's so many, you know, the hats up there that don't want you to speak on this shit, that don't want you to expose that, all this culture, no matter what we're into, it gets exploited. Once you reach a top level, it gets exploited. And we mad at Kai because he finally decided to say, you know what? Instead of following the grain, instead of falling into the victimhood of what money does, I'm just going to do what I want to do. Like, let's be real. Like there is no, like, why everything gotta be a conspiracy theory? Why everything gotta be tied to, oh my God, it's devilish and all this stuff? Listen, let me tell you guys something, all right? Let me tell you something about spirituality and all that. I believe in spirituality, but listen, if a pastor is in a church, all right, and he's disrespecting you, all right, and you decide to walk in that church and smack the dog shit out that pastor, you think a demon went and possessed me to go do that? No. You know why? Because at the end of the day, you're still a man, bro. You're still a man. You gotta be respected. Drewski just came out with a whole skit making fun of the whole trolling, the whole idea, the stereotypical idea of what 80% of these churches is out here doing, what 80% of any type of field that you look on that is at the front and center is doing. They just doing everything for entertainment, but at the cost of selling what? Their soul, their spirituality, their mind. We want people of influence to sit here and actually speak up and say something and not be caught up, oh, the Illuminati and all this. Kai stood up there and said, yo, you know what? I ain't going to do streaming no more. I'm going to come out with some Vivette shit and I'm going to do that. That's what I'm going to do. I'm into clothes now. And who am I? Who are y'all? Who's Joe Budden? Who's Academics? Who's Aiden Ross? Who is Sneeko? To any of y'all to sit there and say anything about a kid, a humble kid that literally built this out the mud. Kai Cenat is not one that was planted here. Like Speed, he wasn't planted here. And had to break through Twitch and YouTube being a little black kid, that was doing streams in his room and called it. The same way we call it here, it doesn't seem plausible when we're sitting here, sitting at what, 3,900 subs. It doesn't seem plausible, but when you know it, when you feel it, when you know it's there, when you know it's inevitable, you speak on it because it's in you. It's God sent. It's there for you. You finally found your path. So you look at what Kai has done in a short amount of time. So how can you talk? It took you like what, 15, 20 years from becoming a Jamaican DJ. You had to exploit a whole culture to get yourself here. You had to dicky. Listen, we don't want to hear anything about you telling him how the fashion industry is going to think. Let me tell anybody, let me pull the curtain back. There's two things that run the whole hip-hop and any culture industry, whatever. It's fashion, it's the gays, all right? And it's the hats, because they sign the checks. You go into any field that your culture is not fully into, right? Fashion is a whole world in itself. It's a whole world in itself. Those houses is a whole world in itself. So yes, Kai is going to have to do the work. Same way that Ye had to do the work. But Ye got the respect. Before y'all started labeling Kanye as crazy and all of this stuff, how come all the things that Kanye was saying like 5-10 years ago is happening now? You're seeing the things that he was telling you about Drake. It came out. A lot of the things they said, he just delivered it wrong. Y'all used the death of his mother, and I will completely agree. The death of his mother impacted his trajectory. It impacted his creativity. But we got some of the best Kanye. Like, literally, in the last 10, 15 years, we got some of the best Kanye. Look at what his daughter is doing. The guy sat there and told you, yo, they're trying. He came out with a whole Hail Hitler song. And while you have Sneeko over there with Nick Fuentes, the same Nick Fuentes that just came out with a video trying to normalize, having with 13-year-olds and 14-year-olds, literally defending Epstein, While you sitting there when your mental capacity ain't even there yet, bro. Fuck a sexual maturity. Those are the guys having conversations, but we want to sit here and get on Kai for reading for 15 minutes, trying to get his dialect better. We bombed on Kanye. Y'all used Kanye's mother's death and that as the reason why he went insane. He went crazy. But then you let the time pass. That don't change the fact that Kim K, was it on him to get with Kim K, one of the biggest hoes? It was on him. But if anybody that studies the Kardashians, every black man that has gone through that Kardashian family has been washed. That Kardashian family is so cursed that one of their own guys turned into a whole female. Into a whole female. Ran over a guy, killed dude. Guess what? Because they're transgender, can't throw them in jail. Because they got influence, can't throw them in jail. But we want to get on Kai because he had a breakup. And instead of sitting there, yes, yo, he had a breakup. He had a breakup in front of everybody. In front of everybody. Y'all sitting there talking rumors, academics sit here. Yo, academics loves talking about female gossip. You and Salty Santana need to go out on a date act. Like, yo, seriously, because, bro, you gossip about these relationships, bro. I don't care about nothing. Yo, what goes on in the bedroom should stay there, bro. This is nobody's business. Kai Cenat was never known for bringing his girl on stream. Kid fell in love. Hey, yo, Kai, listen, I'm going to tell you something to one of my OGs. Listen, I'm at Big Bro stage right now. I'm not an unk. And that's why I'm Act. I mean, I don't expect it from Act. Act, you're supposed to be a big bro to these guys. But you're not. You're a hater, bro. You know why? Because Kai did this shit in less time. Yo, Kai, listen, let me tell you something. Something that was told to me when I was younger than you, bro. Like, you go fall in love a few times, gang, before you actually figure it out. But before you actually know what it means. You got to know what it is to feel pain, to actually know what love is, to appreciate love. You dig? You got to know. So you go through this pain. Go through this creative process. Let it go. Let it all flow out. He comes out with a Vivette thing. He wants to come out with a little notebook. I'm not going to sit here and troll Kai. I'm going to sit here and troll. Is it funny? Yo, Kai, I ain't going to lie, bro. You look kind of wild sitting there with your little notepad. Like, you know what I'm saying? At the fashion awards. But you doing you. I got to respect that as a grown man, you sat there when everybody wanted you to do this, go left, you went right. Joe Budden don't know nothing. Joe Budden, you're disconnected, gang. You're disconnected. We will never take advice. Stick to the commentaries, all right? You are not Stephen A. Smith of this shit, bro. You the other guy, the white guy. You're the white old guy. You're the guy that you played a couple of games in high school. You came out with a couple of mixtapes and talking about your emotions and your moods, but nobody wants to hear you, bro. Your shit is disconnected. You don't know how the streaming game works because you're not a streamer. You are a potter. That's two different worlds. Kai's net worth alone. Do you understand that the whole AMP team, they sitting there, they got to protect the bag. Y'all sitting there going, oh, somebody's in Kai's ear. No, they all support each other. They all hold stake in AMP. They all have full ownership. That's why they didn't sign. That's why you don't see them breaking up like the other guys, because they didn't go and sell out. When y'all wanted Phantom to be out of there and all this shit, y'all quick to get on that shit, to have them break apart. They will be together because they are brothers in arms. They're not gonna sit. They're not caught up with this thing. They built this shit out the mud. They built it together. They saw it before y'all did. And now, because they're up here and ascended, now all of a sudden it's Illuminati and y'all, Kai sold his soul and look at the devil imagery and all this shit. My God, bro, like my God, the kid went through a breakup. He going through man, any breakup, you go through these dark shit, and if you're a creative mind, guess where your mind gonna go? It's gonna go to the darkness, bro. So you gotta start coming up with like all different kinds of things, bro. I've been there. Everybody's been there. That's a creative. You sit there, no demon is sitting there. Oh my God, possessed. Possessed. Let me write. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. There's documents of Young Thug literally sacrificing goats. You know what I'm saying? G Herbo, all these guys trolling, doing fucking, say y'all says you just had Jim Jones sitting there doing a no, because his lights got shut off, and everybody would go, Satan. Yes, there's a degree to that, but do you honestly think they're trying to put Kai Cenat, somebody that talks in front of the camera, to do all of that shit? No, he went through a breakup. Some niggas cry, some niggas write, some niggas create. What y'all want him to cry? To be soft? It's on Shorty. It's on Shorty. And he will learn. He will learn. He will bounce back to her, and then he go learn again. And guess what? He got to go through that. And then he go pop up back up a few years and be like, you know what? Go back to his first love, because your first love, like my first love is music. You always find yourself going back. You always find yourself going back. It fucks me up that y'all sitting there bombing on a kid. You know, I'm sitting here watching Joe Budden, and you got his little stepchildren talk about, you know, well, the mental health thing and bringing that up and bringing up the girl shit and being like, and so you guys just sound like a bunch of old heads that don't know shit about shit. How the new generation work. We go through our pain, but you gotta go through your pain on camera, bro. On camera. He's not doing this. Every camera's IRL, bro. This camera's following you everywhere. Camera's following you everywhere. How are you supposed to? What time do you have, bro? What time do you have? What time do you have for yourself? You got Shorty that's being dragged through the internet, and then she ends up being with Kevin Gates. Which is it's a sidebar conversation. What is it with Kevin Gates that y'all sitting here and y'all like what is it? Ladies, like, let me ask you, like, what is it? Because, fellas, what is it that lets y'all allow yourselves to be bitched out by this dude? Like, on some serious shit. On some serious shit. Like, I saw him punk LeBron, bro. Like, and at this point, it's literally a troll, and it's literally something that he does on purpose. So, why? Because he knows he could do it. I want to understand, what is it? What is it? Because clearly, like, so Kyle, when you see that, when you see your shorty sitting there and she a weak bitch, because that's the only type of bitches, I'll give you the answer, all right? It's weak bitches that fall for a nigga like that. It's weak bitches that sit there and weak motherfuckers that sit there and actually allow shit like that to happen. Kai, one thing you're gonna learn, if she slept out on you, gang, listen, I'm sorry to tell you, bro, she never belonged to you. She belonged to the streets. All right, she always belonged to the streets. The moment that they step out, that's it, bro. That's it. If you're married, if you had years and you high school sweethearts and you know what I'm saying, and yo, you want to work through it, it's possible, because guess what? You got time in, and you know that's called a fuck up. That's called all right, you know what? I fucked up. But yo, a new shorty, after you was already in the gym, after you was already in the playoffs, after you already won some chips, nah, homie, she for the streets. She for the streets. I'm not gonna bomb on Kai for sitting there and trying to make himself better as a man as he grows. That's what we're supposed to see. Alright, he influences a lot of kids. He influences a lot of people. So I'm glad that he's going in that direction. The guy sat there and talked about his love for God, and y'all are sitting there talking about, yo, your symbols are demonic and da 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 da. You gotta fucking act. Yo, watch what you put in it. Who act? You're not in his brain. You're not him. You can never be him. Act. Look how you dress. Look at your merchandise, bro. You're wearing like 2001 jerseys that says academics on it, bro. We do not want to hear anything about fashion or nothing from you, bro. I don't want to hear about how to pick up a girl from you, all right? I don't want to know about how to diet from you, all right? What was that, calling somebody for an Ozempic shot? I do not need no advice, bro. No fashion advice, no hot parenting advice. I don't need none of that shit. If I need your advice for drinking, I'm going to call you. If I want to know how to pour a Henny shot, I'm going to call Ack. If I want to know how do I compliment Drake, I'm going to go call Ack, which will never happen. Nobody's takes that I saw was constructive or gave support to everything that Kai is doing. all I saw was a bunch of haters counting his pockets and wondering why the fuck he's doing things, because he did it in less time, alright? And he's doing what they could never do, and that's what they want to do. Joe Budden literally dresses in women blouses and loafers, and this guy wants to be in those fashion houses, alright? He wants to be sucking the dicks of those fucking fashion houses, divas. He wants to be there, but they don't want Joe Budden. Joe Budden sits on women's chests. Joe Budden, pops pills and shows up to people's places naked and then says, oh, I don't remember. Weirdos. So I'm sorry. I haven't seen Kai be weird. I haven't seen Kai do the Aiden Ross stuff. Aiden Ross, yo, Aiden, you telling us that money buys happiness? No, it don't buy happiness. Money buys financial freedom, and it exposes at that point who you really are. It affords you the opportunity to put yourselves in a position where you don't got to work for the next person. It affords you the opportunity to give your family thereafter, the ability to do whatever they want. You're setting up your family. You're setting up generations. You become the change. You impact generations behind you. That's what that does, okay? That does not buy happiness. You know why? Because when you're sitting there alone, ask Selena Powell if money buys happiness. When she's sitting there, when she gonna be 60 years old, dragged out, pussy wide open, and she's sitting there and nobody wants her. Tats is all running down because of fucking wrinkles is getting her face, is already, she like what, 30? And she looking like 50 in the face? So by like 60, she gonna look like 90 years old. She gonna look like the little skeleton thing in SpongeBob. Like, bro, a lot of these OnlyFans females, same thing. Ask them if money buys happiness. Ask them if selling their pussy buys them happiness, because guess what? They're all going to be alone. Guess what? When it gets to the point where their kids get to the point where they start getting trolled and they start sitting there, because it's already happening. We already see it happening in society. We were talking about this about 10 years ago, and it's already happening because things move at a quicker pace, faster than the last time, faster than the last point. We double up every single time that we hit one of those points. AI gets introduced. Guess what? Every 6 months, it doubles upon improvement. You check back on any AI tool, whatever, it's going to have improvements every 6 months. You know why? Because it's doubling up on its information. You got a guy that has done everything in streaming and wants to, send to something else. You know what I'm saying? They blackballed 50 out of the music industry, and he went and took over something else. He went into the movie industry. Did he have to, S&D or, sell his soul? Were you guys saying that he sold his soul? No, he broke through. He trolled stars to put on his show, and he showed his numbers, and they could not deny him. They could not deny him. His liquor brand deals, they can't deny him because he is the product. Kai Cenat is the product. He is the brand. All right? He's put on a lot of people. He's put a lot of people in the position to win. The fact that he hasn't, I'm sorry. I mean, he did give y'all Rakai, and Rakai is, a stereotype in itself. But outside of that, he really changed lives. Like, even Rakai, he changed his life. What would Rakai be on some real shit? What would Rakai be? He'd just be another stereotypical kid in wherever section he's at, being obnoxious, getting sent home from school. His mom probably whooping his ass because he's just a badass kid. Because he's a baby kid. He's a badass kid. So cool, he getting him out. I hope that at some point when he gets into, he's 17 years old, so I don't expect anything less. Only reason why I look at Rakai the way I do is because my kid's right there. Like, they right in the same age bracket. So, like, all the high school kids look at him as a clown. So I would hope that by 21 he starts to mature out, because he got people like Bender Don, who, for the most part, outside of him fanning out, when he fanning out with Drake, he be cold-hearted with with his team and shit like that. The loyalty amongst that team, you can never clown that. You can never clown that. What they've built, you can never count that. You can never replace that. Academics has no room to speak because he hasn't reached those levels of success. He's still chasing. He's still chasing those lanes. He's still trying to be what they do. He's still trying to figure it out because Academics has never had a creative bone in his body. He's just always wanted to be something other than being normal. And he made it. Kudos to you. Kudos to you. But that falls. Are we going to say you crazy when you sitting there, you know, bombing on a female in public? You know what I'm saying? Snatching purses away from her, yelling at her when you bombing on women online. Do we sit there, you say you got mental health and all that stuff like that? We don't say that. When Joe Budden is sitting here walking through hallways, you know, in stupors, sitting there being like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing, fucking dick all hanging out, in front of Ring cameras with kids inside the house. Like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't say that that's mental health. We don't say that that's weird, right? All you guys on that same podcast, y'all don't sit there and call your mans out when he's done countless weird shit, right? Sitting on women's chests and, you know, bombing on people. Like, you don't call that out, right? It's never weird. It's not that, right? Sneeko, when you sitting here, you constantly, you're ignorant shit. Yo, Sneeko, what are you, bro? What are you? Are you Mexican? Are you Muhammad? Are you Muslim? Are you Jewish? Are you like, I don't even know what you are. Are you Vietnamese? Are you Asian? Bro, we don't know what you are. You are a mekla, nigga. You are a mix. Like, you look like you Mexican. Like, you could go to LA and what a homes. You literally that, bro. We see you doing your little stereotypical shit. That's why you was canceled. That's why you will always be the bitch of all the streamers. You went from up here to down here, bro. You are literally the biggest. You are like a low key, like what is it? You a Temu hater, bro. You are a Temu hater. We don't know what you are. You are a mutt. You are a mutt. We don't know. That's probably why you mad at everybody. That's why you mad at all the backgrounds. You want to talk shit. Bro, you can never give advice to Kai because Kai did it better than you. And Kai ascended past where you will never ascend to ever again. Ever again. You hang out with Nick Fuentes and the Tate guy who got his shit rocked, all right? Nobody respects Tate no more in 2026. He had a good little run for like 3 months, and then he introduced Aiden Ross, and I was like, oh, yep, don't fuck with him. Like, you already see the weirdo-ness. You see the weirdo. Then he got caught up in the case, you know what I'm saying, with the shit like shit, you know what I'm saying? Oh, the world, the Illuminati is trying to take my, you know, they're trying to get against me and my brother. Man, get the fuck out of here. Y'all niggas is weirdos. Y'all get money, and y'all think that money could do whatever. Y'all throw money at these girls, and y'all get these weak women to sit there, and you keep funneling the same Epstein-like behaviors. Like, that's all it is. So I will not bomb on Kai for trying to get his life better, because I do not see him with a whole bunch of OF models, all right? I don't see him sitting here doing weirdo shit. Oh my God, he wrote a cross with a little thing that looked like a fucking Harley Davidson. Man, put that shit on the Harley Davidson, nigga. You wouldn't know the difference. He stole it from some Harley design he probably seen in some fucking bike shop. Processed memory, bro. Like, fuck out of here, man. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. It's not that deep.
Never, always pushing for the doubt. Hit a left and a right fist right to their mouth. I was never cocky figure till I started stacking figures. How you make a cocky nigga give him all the traffic? Always humble, but I got a couple bad habits. Set the numbers adding zeros to these mathematics. Get you talking different, walking like you gang banging.